Welcome back to Let's Play Capo 2. Now I'm kind of vaguely remembering where we left off. He's just like, what the hell? It's funny really, I mean, at the time when I previously recorded, I was just like, oh, what's going on here? Now I've just come back to him and it's like, ugh, I don't care. I woke up in a hurry. I found Sakura-san inside the smoke-filled kitchen. Sakura-san, you okay? I quickly opened the window and turned on the ventilator fan to get some fresh air in the kitchen. Well, here's a surprise. I thought it was Yume's cooking or something, just like, Claire! But then Yume had heard the smoke alarm from next door and rushed over to check what was up. What on earth happened? You ever had that? Well, I suppose everyone probably has that happen to them every now and then, where someone or something wakes you up and it's absolutely just scares the crap out of you. You're just like, my mind isn't even fully functioning right now, can't comprehend what the fuck's going on, complete disorientation. Sakura-san hung her shoulders in shame as she apologized. Otane and Yume both held their hands to their chests as they breathed a sigh of relief. Shall we start cleaning up then? And looking at the kitchen, it was a total mess. I wondered what she was trying to make. Also, if we don't clean up, we won't be able to make breakfast. A moment. Wow. That was funny. Well, not really. That was more of a mind your annoyance than anything. My mother messaging me to see if my brother turned the cooker off. With all this going on in the plot currently, I thought it quite fitting. He didn't though. They both stood there trying to remain calm. Sakura-san apologized plenty of times as we cleaned the kitchen. Wataru, who was walking next to me, sounded really satisfied. Are you really that proud of winning the game of basketball during PE? Beep! What? Is this gonna be a running gag or what? Over there! The source of the noise seemed to be the home economics classroom. Grey smoke was blowing out through the classroom door. Hey, don't push, it hurts! Is anyone hurt? Are you okay? Was this your doing this time, Yume? Glare! The home economics classroom was in a minor state of panic. Yume Amikaze, what happened? The way I don't pause when I speak just really like makes it confusing the way I say that. It's as if I'm just addressing one person. It's so noisy. What happened in the classroom? Huh? Exploded? Without thinking, I looked at Yume. Yume was shaking her head in denial. Well, it's probably true. Even though Yume wasn't that good at cooking, she didn't usually cause pots to blow up. You sure you didn't get it in China? I mean, that's always kind of like reoccurring kind of joke with that, isn't it? Like, China is made things like exploding. I don't know how frequent it is, but I do remember like reading about some bizarre instance, like a coin blowing up, a toilet blowing up, and just things like that. It's just like, what? That doesn't even make sense. How is the situation now? Oh man, if I was in this position and that happened all in one day, I'd be like, oh, the stress. Because I, like, personally, like I've mentioned before, because of something that happened in my past, with like some assholes lighting shit on fire in our garden. Not shit, but you get the idea. It's kind of left a scar on me wherever I smell smoke is just enough to make me feel a little on edge. If I freaking went through a situation like this twice in one day, I'd be like, ah! God damn it, stop burning shit! Sakura-san, Kawahara-san burned herself a bit. We should hurry up and take her to the nurse's office. That was read in the most awkwardest of ways. I bet the dog can be heard in the background because he's really loud. Yume went off towards the nurse's office to get on with a girl who seemed to have gotten burnt. Any idea how this happened? Is the whole thing behind all these incidents going to be revealed to be a mischievous ghost or something? Now, if I'm right on that, some of you just go, oh, he's figured it out, but we're not going to tell him. I don't, because it probably isn't anyway. So Konami looked incredibly interested, but I just forced a smile and left him to his own devices. Could this have been related to magic in some way? I mean, it makes about as much sense as real life kind of ghost kind of things. Just like, ooh, that book fell off the shelf randomly and there was nothing that could push it over. It's like, so if a ghost existed and did that, why? Can you imagine that? It's just like a ghost just like, I'm gonna make these people shit themselves by throwing this book off the bookshelf and they'll totally crap themselves. Just like, so why do you do that for? Because I can. Well, anyone can do that. Yeah, I know, but when they can't see you, it's creepy, isn't it? Because of ghosts. But why? A prank? It's a pretty crappy prank, man. I checked the place for clues later, but I couldn't find anything that might have caused it. There were no gas leaks, and it didn't seem like it had even caught on fire. The gas pipes had just been changed too, and the teacher had investigated them before class. My best guess at this point would be that magic was involved. It's just like, instead of just like, it must be ghosts, it's like, nope, must be magic. I mean, if you said that in real life, you'd be like, what the hell are you on? And whoever did this was probably responsible for the rest of the instance as well. Just like, yes, the link is very clearly obvious. You know, dropping something on two delinquents' heads and causing a pot to explode. Yeah, see the similarities, don't you? I mean, it probably is connected, but when you look at it like that, it makes no sense. However, if something had gone wrong today, you might have gotten hurt. Just like, so someone did get hurt a bit, but he's just like, well, it wasn't you, mate, so yeah, I don't give a shit. Just thinking about it made my chest hurt and felt really scared. Yume said that during dinner as she spaced out and held her chopsticks. But I had a serious look on her face, and it seemed like she was thinking about something. I'm sure she's thinking about how it might be related to the magic. Sakura-san looked a bit pale. Well, of course she did. If anything had gone wrong, it could have ended up that ended up terribly for her beloved students. It must have been quite a shock for her since she's the principal, and it's probably also because she knows what's going on, probably. But it's a good thing it wasn't that bad. That girl got burned pretty likely too, right?
ちょっと手にお湯がかかっちゃっただけ。すぐに冷やしたから、明日にはもう痛みとか引いてるんじゃないかな。
I see, well, that's great. I was trying to sound cheerful just so Sakura-san wouldn't worry too much. I wouldn't want her to overwork herself and get sick. I really don't want to burden Sakura-san more than necessary with this. However, we couldn't afford to be careless. An incident even occurred at school really close to us. We haven't confirmed it yet, but we're pretty sure this is related to magic. Now, if there's a plot twist where it has absolutely nothing to do with magic, then I shall laugh. We really need to brace ourselves now. I looked at Otne, who was sitting next to me. My eyes met with Otne, who looked really serious. I already knew what she wanted to say. There was only one thing to do. I nodded at her in agreement. And what is there to do exactly? Or am I the danced one for a change? During lunch break, Otne invited me to the student council room. I had Otne's delicious bento right in front of me, but I just didn't have much of an appetite.
あんまり進展しないね。
Well, what are they supposed to do exactly? I mean, there doesn't really seem to be any evidence, really, that shows, like, what could be behind it all other than just be like, well, it's magic. It could be like that. They'd be like, well, ghosts. Well, aliens. Just like, it's just a random events, isn't it? Otne sighed a bit while holding her chopsticks. I mean, other than just being somewhat out of the ordinary, there's nothing really that seems to connect them from what I can see so far. We investigated a bunch of stuff together yesterday, but we didn't really find anything to help the investigation. In the end, we grew increasingly frustrated. Well, I can't help feeling frustrated, but this is pretty annoying.
できる限り早く解決しないと。
Or else this will end in disaster. How do you know? In all the instances so far, people's lives could have been in danger if anything had gone wrong. One by one, the instances were putting more people in danger. Well, we've got to keep our bodies in shape if we want to get anything done, so let's have lunch for now. I still don't have much of an appetite, but I forced myself to keep eating. Once I had the food in my mouth, it was definitely Otne's cooking. As the sweet taste spread across my tongue, I regained some of my appetite.
そうだね。
Otne picked up a sausage and put it in her mouth. Oh yeah, Otne, you borrowed a book from the library yesterday, right? Did you find anything new?
そうそう。弟くんに伝えなきゃって思ってたことが一つあったんだ。
Otne clapped her hands together.
前に枯れない桜が枯れた時のことなんだけど。乙女いる？
Otne was interrupted by Mayuki-senpai storming straight into the room. She's breathing heavily. Did she run all the way here?
まゆき？どうしたの？どうしたもこうしたもないよ。今校門のとこで交通事故があって、もうしっちゃかめっちゃかなの。
Would that be the second time now? Because I'm pretty sure that the usual one that happens in pretty much every route, well, leading up to every route, has pretty much already happened, so would this be a second one?
交通事故？学園長もいないみたいだし、とにかくあんたに伝えなきゃと思って。
You know, it's just like, if this was like, say, based in Russia, they'd be like, there's been a traffic accident, just like, so? What do you mean, so? This shit happens all the freaking time, man. People are crazy on the road around here. So I hear, anyway. Well, so I've seen as well. I mean, just seeing one of those videos, like, just, how can people drive that badly? Otne looked really tense as she got up from her chair. Yeah, gotcha. I could hear their footsteps gradually fade away as they ran out of the student council room. Well, any country, I mean, really. It's not really that out of the ordinary. I mean, every day it seems like someone's crashed their car and just, like, caused a bit of a traffic kind of disruption, you know. It happens quite frequently. I mean, not like every single second every road has that, but you get the idea. That evening, Otney still hadn't made it back before dinner time. I wonder what she's doing. Was the accident this afternoon really that bad? I couldn't bring myself to calm down while having dinner on my own. Someone's calling. I took out my phone and checked the display. Seriously, man, that ringtone. Otney's name popped up on there. Although, mine is, well, I have my phone on mute, so it just kind of goes... Hello? Yep, it's me. What's up? Was it really a big accident? Ah, that's good. I put my hand on my chest in relief. That must mean... You know, I really want to get into the plot here, but it is just not really drawing me in the way some of the other routes have done so far. It's because, well, they're all like, it's magic. It's magic. Give me a bit of a demonstration of the supernatural magic abilities Alden Sweets, and maybe I can go along with it a bit. But so far, that's all they've shown magic-wise. So the fact that they're saying everything's connected and magic-related, it just sounds like a kind of conspiracy theories, just like, must be aliens. Yep, definitely aliens. Nothing can explain that. Oh. I see. You want me to come and help? It's a bit difficult to kick back with all that stuff going on, though. You know, with this whole thing, it just seems like... Oddly, it makes it seem like Otne and Suganami would get along, really, isn't it? Just like, yes, I do also think that it has something to do with magic in some way. Only difference is, Otne is probably right, while Suganami just wants to be right, or doesn't really matter to him at all. Mystery is what matters the most to him, while Otne would actually kind of somewhat get an idea of what's going on, and Suganami would just be kind of just like, it could be, or it could not be, it could be, mysteries. But since she says it's fine, I'll just leave it to her. Roger that, but Otne, don't skip out on dinner completely, okay? Of course. For some reason, she sounded really sweet. Good night. Click. Beep, beep, beep. Otne hung up and everything was solid once again. And now I think about it, Sakura-san hasn't come home yet either. Maybe she ended up with even more work because of that accident. She doesn't seem to be feeling too well, so I just hope she doesn't collapse. I sat around and stared at the wall while waiting for Sakura-san to come home. A few hours passed. Sakura-san finally returned. Welcome home, Sakura-san. You're home late today. Well, that's nothing new, is it? And just as she said, she did look pretty exhausted. You want some dinner?
今日は外で食べてきたからいいよ。
Ah, I see. You should go get some rest then. In addition to looking pale, you also look really tired.
そうするよ。でも、その前にちょっと聞きたいことがあるんだ。
Yeah, what is it?
よしゆきくん、乙女ちゃんのこと本気で好き？
Eh? What do you say all of a sudden?
ほら、一応保護者代わりとしては聞いておかなきゃと思って。
That seems like a really odd question, really. It's like, I know you two are going out, but do you actually like her?
で、どうなの？
Sakura-san looked at me intently with her blue eyes. She made it sound like she was teasing me, but she looked really serious. I love her. I didn't even need to think about it. Well, not that he does anyway. I mean, he's pretty dense. It's kind of a running joke going on in this LP, isn't it? That answer was decided a long time ago. I know it might just sound like I'm praising someone I like, but I'm no longer at a level where it's just like or dislike. It feels more like our hearts are connected to one another.
そっか。じゃあよしゆきくんは今幸せなんだね。
Yeah, I am. Can't you tell by my tone of voice? That just sounds a bit indifferent to it. I said full of confidence. Oh? Yeah, I am.
いいなぁ。恋人か。
Why did he say it twice anyway? Sakura-san, why don't you start dating someone?
どうして？
Oh, it's just that you seem to like hearing about things like boyfriends and kids, so I figured that maybe you'd like it if you tried it.
子供か。
After talking about her deep feelings like that, she just smiled mischievously.
実はね、もういるんだよ。
Can you imagine?
かわいい子供が。
Can you imagine her dating? I mean, it's kind of... I'm not sure how old she actually is, but she's at least somewhere in her middle-aged kind of age group. So can you imagine that? Really? When did you...
ここに。
As she said that, Sakura-san pointed her finger at me. Me?
そうだよ。君も乙女ちゃんもゆめちゃんも風見学園の生徒たちみんなが僕の可愛い子供みたいなものだからね。君たちは僕の可愛い子供なんだ。
She stood up on her toes and patted my head.
だから守ってあげなきゃいけないんだよね。可愛い子供たちに傷を負わせたりしちゃいけないんだ。
Sakura-san hung her head and bit her lips a little.
ねえ、よしゆきくん。ちょっといいかな。
What's up?
ね。
Whoa! Suddenly, Sakura-san hugged me tightly. Hey, Sakura-san! Sakura-san was hanging around my neck as tightly as she could. Her tiny body was shaking a little bit. As she breathed out against my neck, it felt like she was desperately clinging on to something. Sakura-san? Her breathing, could it be... Is Sakura-san crying? I could feel a warm drop of water falling down onto my neck. Her shivering lips uttered a single word. Her voice was so low it all but vanished. Oh, come on, it was obvious she's saying sorry. But sorry for what? Well, the only reason it's obvious to me is because I've heard that word enough times to kind of pick up on that at least. I'm sure I heard her say it. Sakura-san, what do you mean by... But as I was about to ask her about it, she suddenly let me go. Why do they speak in English at times? She was smiling again. Huh? I thought she was crying. Were those tears just now? Hey, wait a sec, Sakura-san, why did you...
おやすみなさい。
Sakura-san forcibly interrupted our conversation and ran off to her bedroom. Just what was it that she said earlier? I could just barely hear her voice back there. The short word, if I had lost focus, I surely wouldn't have heard it. I'm pretty sure I heard Sakura-san say, sorry. What was up with that? Sounds pretty plot-related to me. Maybe it's sorry, but you're going to have to go for a field trip with Otne at some point in the near future. Alright, I guess I should make breakfast. I stretched my arms and thought about today's menu. Maybe I'll put together something special to cheer Sakura-san up a bit, and that dog is always barking, since she seemed so tired yesterday. I'll check the refrigerator for... Certainly an honest note sitting on the table. I wonder what this is. I picked up the memo and read it.
ちょっとやることがあるので出かけます。しばらく戻ってこれないかもしれないけど、心配しないでね。
Is this the same letter we get in every other route? And then she'll just like randomly disappear, but this time we might actually get a little bit more insight into what's going on. I mean, so far it's not really revealed what actually goes on, but it kind of like shows that it's more and more important, the more kind of, I don't know.
おたねちゃんやゆめちゃんにもよろしく言っておいてください。さくら。
Something that needs doing, huh? Sakura-san sure seems busy. It's like, look, I'm writing the plot behind the scenes, damn it. It's stressful. I wonder what she's doing. She didn't really disclose any details. Well, of course not. She doesn't want to spoil the plot for you. Or me, for that matter. I just hope she doesn't push it so hard that she collapses. She was acting a bit weird yesterday, too. Oh well, think about it won't do anything. I should just focus on breakfast now. I'll toast some bread and then fry some eggs and bacon.
兄さんおはよう。お腹減っちゃって目が回りそうなの。朝ごはん食べさせて。
While I was preparing breakfast, I heard a shameful little voice behind me. You're hungry? What about Otne?
なんか今日は大事な用があるとかで朝早くに出かけたよ。
Urgent business with the student council or something?
詳しい話は聞いてないよ。学校で直接本人に聞いてみたら。それよりお腹減っちゃって。今日1次元目は体育だから元気になれそうなものが食べたいんだけど。
I'm making breakfast right now, so just wait for a bit.
わーい、ありがとう、兄さん。あ、私卵の木に半熟にしてね。
You may have said that, then left me and headed for the living room. So she left really early, huh? I wonder if she's figured something out. Oh well, I'll just ask her like you may said. You know, we get this kind of perspective from his mind and all that. And when I look at it, he just seems so straightforward, simple-minded. Really, just like, ooh, this and that. My mind is a freaking chaos kind of mind compared. It has like all kinds of shit going on in my mind, and sometimes my mind feels like a random philosophical quote generator. Like, that's the trouble though. As soon as I start talking, it's just like becomes harder to recall. Let's see, there was one thought I had the other day that had an interesting sound to it. Everyone knows something, but nobody can know everything. It's just like random things like that. It's just like, yeah, and it's got a nice ring to it, but why is my mind just like randomly think in kind of philosophical ways so often? Sunny side up, was it? I dropped an egg in the hot frying pan. The sweet smell of eggs and the sound of frying resonated throughout the kitchen.